House of Rep, we are not going to waste a lot of time. We'll just share a report briefly. Wherever you agree, you tell us. Where you don't agree, let us know. We'll proceed ahead. As a party, we are ready to conduct a free and fair, transparent primaries.
This time I want my deputy chairman from Zone B to stand up. If I say this, maybe he will also say yes. Jointly, with all assembly members from Zone A, all the aspirants from Zone A, all House of Assembly members and House of Reps, with our senator and the State Working Committee from Zone A, we presented Titus Uba to our good people of Zone B. And yesterday, all of them have accepted as a sole candidate to run for 2023 global election on behalf of the T Nation. With him, I hope he's not going to say no, because my chairman was not here. I also want to, on behalf of Zone A and Zone B, my colleagues there, we present Titus Uba as a candidate to run for the global election country 2023 on behalf of the T Nation. I so present.
I sat down and I listened very keenly to the presentation made by the zonal chairman of Zone A, and to very quickly make this comment that, to say the least, I am terribly disturbed. And I'll give you the reason why. When I presented myself as an aspirant on the platform of this party to run the gubernatorial election, I did so purely on the basis of what I believe of my competence, my qualification, my experience, my ability to deliver. Having served 3 administrations in Benue State, I believe that I have garnered enough experience to be able to take the state a lot further, especially having served on the tutelage of my boss, the governor, in 7 solid years. Having learned a lot from him, having served under him and seen everything, having seen the way he has resisted insurgency in this state, and not only in this state, but insurgency that would have even swept across this state and moved downwards to the south. Haven't seen him defend the Benue Valley and defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria. I thought to myself that I have learned enough, and I am therefore in a position to be able to carry on from where he stops, and should be able to add value to whatever is on ground. I did so purely on the premise of me being a Benue person. I didn't do it because I felt I'm an Idoma man. Because my being born an Idoma man is purely an accident of birth. I never asked to be born an Idoma person. It was God's decision And I have no right whatsoever to question it. I say I'm a little bit disturbed because when I put myself forward to run, I never said I was going to run on behalf of Idoma. In my whole life, my political life that has spanned over 30 years, I've never come across a situation where zoning is done between one tribe and another. I am disturbed because whatever we do, we need to leave a legacy for our children. We need unity of purpose in Benue State at this point in time more than any other time in the history of this state. A situation where we may not dwell too much on where you come from. We should be able to preach brotherhood. I started my life by marrying a thief woman who gave me a wonderful son. I never discriminated and I never said, this is a thief person and I am Idoma and so I have nothing to do with her. No. I've never heard where zoning is done between one tribe and another. And so I was disturbed when the zonal chairman said, we are presenting the Right Honorable Titus Uba to run on behalf of the thief nation. It really, really disturbs me. I think that zoning, we have 3 zones in Benue State, A, B, and C. And if we are zoning, we should be zoning between where people are contesting from, Zone A and Zone C. Not between Idoma and Chief, not between Igede and Idoma or Chief. This is my personal opinion. I am not running as an Idoma man. My being Idoma is an accident of birth. And let me mention another thing. Point another thing out very quickly. When Zone A was meeting to decide who will be their sole aspirant, Zone B, that is not in the equation of this race, participated with them. It's okay, but I will be happy to have the pleasure and privilege of having Zone B to sit with Zone C when we are also holding our own meeting. I think it will be proper. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am a very understanding person, and I am a party man. If the party takes a decision that I consider to be proper, to be just, to be equitable, and to be fair, I will be the first person to accept it. In recent times, what has been in the air, not only in Benue but in the whole of Nigeria, has been the issue of fairness, equity, and justice. And I think that whatever we do, we should harp on this. And so, I want to say that as we go to deliberate and to decide, His Excellency said something that gladdened my heart. He said, when we go out there to deliberate, we should think about the possibility or the ability to win the election. I agree totally. But in my view, I don't think it is necessarily on the basis of where somebody comes from that he will be able to win the election. I think it is the acceptability of the candidate. I, for one, have crisscrossed the length and breadth of Benue, and I know the base of my acceptance. I have built a support base, and I know that that support base cuts across the state. It is not only in Idoma land, and it is not only in Tiv land. So I do agree totally that when we go to deliberate, we should consider the ability to win the election. And I think I have that ability. Thank you, and God bless you.
I want to thank the PDP in Benue State for the painstaking efforts that have been put into bringing us to where we are today. I believe sincerely that if we work together as one, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. I want to recall that in 2021 at the Congress of the PDP, in Makurdi here, I made an appeal to the people of Benue State to support an aspirant from the Zone C extraction to fly the flag of this party in 2023. And I made that appeal believing that it was early enough for all of us to think about it as we were moving forward. Today we are here. Efforts have been made at pruning down the number of aspirants. Let me point out very clearly here that I am not a student of reduction. I don't really believe that the number of aspirants determines the support that we can get at any point in time. There could be 20, 30, 40, 50 aspirants. I think that the method of working out a procedure for choosing one person to support is most critical. Be that as it may, I am aware as a follower, a keen follower of events in PDP, that a lot of efforts have been put into bringing us to where we are today. The question that begs for answers is that the best? Can this be the only way that we can arrive at the solution to our problem? I have never doubted the numerical superiority of zones A and B when it comes to this matter of democracy. I've always said it. And I've always insisted that we must not continue to talk about marginalization, because as a political scientist, what I do know that is playing out in Nigerian democracy is a tyranny of democracy, where majority always have their way, and the minority can always have their say. And so if we agree here that put zones A and B together, they are more than zone C. If we agree today that sentiments predicated on primordial considerations can also sway elections, then there is only one imperative need: the need to persuade our brothers and sisters in zones A and B to believe that an aspirant or a candidate of a zone C extraction can win the election if we work together. But this can only be a matter of choice. Believing that you can do it is a matter of choice. And so today, I want to continue on that lane, that there is no way a Zone C person can win election to become governor of Benue State without the adequate support of Zones A and B. And if that is the case, the question that begs for answer is this. Is it not possible for Zone A and B to support a person from Zone C to become governor of Benue State for all of us? My answer is, it is possible. It is possible. And so, I want to make this appeal once more. That as we move on, G9, G14, as we move on to consider what is on ground, let us have in mind that we are here in Benue State not by choice, not by accident, but by design. And so all of us are one. And so, if you allow me, I will say that if you place less emphasis on where you come from to become governor of Benue State, and more emphasis on fair treatment of everybody, the agitation to become governor will reduce. But I think, Your Excellency, I told you once that you are the #1 citizen of Benue State, that your people in Zone C want to be governor one day, and that you owe us a historical responsibility to support one of us to become governor. The only area that I don't have any answer to is this. If the governor says that we are not going to be able to persuade the majority of the people in Zones A and B to vote for a candidate or an aspirant of a Zone C extraction to win election, then that presents a dilemma for all of us. But I also said one time that if I work very hard in Zone C, if the governor works very hard in Zone B, and Suswan works very hard in Zone A, wherever a candidate comes from, the person will win election. I believe that. So while G14 and G9 are going for this meeting, I don't think it is too late. I want all of us to have it at the back of our mind that there is a missing link in the tripod of the political equation in Benue.
Must not preempt the decision of these two groups that are going to look at this matter passionately. And I said, my concern is how to win. I stand for equity, fairness, and justice. And I have to say this because somebody may think otherwise. And in this wise, I can defend it. I remember as a build-up to 2023 elections, there was an organization known as Benue Rebirth Movement, made up of generals and assistant or deputy inspector generals of police, which were non-partisan from Zone C. They came together under the umbrella of Benue Rebirth Movement. And the courtesy call was paid to me. My deputy was there. And the agenda mainly was that governorship should come from Zone C. And I told them, as a man who is fair-minded and who believes that there should be power rotation, there should be equity, fairness, and justice, I have no problem with that. But I will advise them. And if they follow this process, maybe God will help us to realize this fact. Just like Comrade Abounu said, in democracy, the majority will always have their way, and the minority will always have their say. So I advise them. There are issues that the people still feel not very comfortable with. And as a leader, I will say it. And so now they are coming from non-partisan position. They are the best people to resolve this matter. And so I advise them, because this thing is deep-rooted. I was a key actor when Akume was governor and transisted power to Suswam. I was still around when Suswam had to transit power. He wanted Tazol. It could not be realized. But by the grace of God, I came in. So I have followed all this. So I advise them that there must be a way of getting to your T brothers to ensure that they are on the same page with you. Otherwise, you came, you are not party people. Me, I'm a party man. I'm PDP man. And I would like to win election. I will never want to lose out. So talk to our brothers in Zone A and B so that we'll be on the same page. I advise them, let the traditional rulers from Zone C talk to our traditional rulers. Let the political class talk to the politicians in this zone. Let students talk to students. Let stakeholders, let them talk to the other people so that we'll all be on the same page. And at the end of the day, let it be that all political parties in Benue State will zone their gubernatorial in Zone C. And then there will be fairness. But here you are coming to me. I don't know whether you have been to APC. Because, for instance, if we all agree and zone the candidature to Zone C in PDP, and APC zones their candidature in Zone A or B, it means I will lose out, despite the fact that today I have the majority of the seats in the State Assembly, I have the majority of the seats at the National Assembly, 3 senators, 8 members of House of Reps out of 11, and 24 members of the Assembly out of 30. They will vote us out. And I gave them an example. I talked about 2015. Go and check the statistics. I lost in Zone C, but I won the overall election because of the votes from Zone A and B. In 2015, when I eventually came back to PDP, I still lost in Zone C. Yes, I lost. Go and check the statistics, they are there. I lost, but I still won
with overwhelming victory against the candidate of that party just the same way in 2015. So why are we want fairness, equity, and justice to support your agitation, but I will not want to do it at my own detriment? That's what I said. So I say it is time, move out, reach out to your team brothers. What effort have they done? Only for them about, I think 6 weeks ago, they came that they were doing a peaceful protest. And I said, which kind of peaceful protest are you doing? Have you done this? Have you reached out to the other parties, or it's just PDP that is on the throne that you're talking to? Reach out to this is something, it is not something by force. It is something that we will dialogue and discuss and agree as brothers. So it is not something that you coerce people by media war or all that, as they were doing. And I advised them. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but the deputy governor was there, and I told him, receive them in government house in their peaceful protest, but tell them they have not done what I had advised them to do when they paid the case call. So it's very simple. This is something that will require understanding of all the parties. The other people will be involved. Otherwise, if today, PDP, you say you have zoned your chairmanship, governorship to zone C, and APC zones their governorship in zone A or B, it means we have lost the election without even casting any vote. This is the challenge we have. So it is not something to coerce anybody. And this is what I have said and stood for. So we'll look at all the issues. The G14 and the G9.
Hello.
The G14 and the G9 will look at all the issues and recommend to us what is right to be done. Me, I don't like deceiving myself. I'm a realist. It's what I know that will happen that I do. And I have always succeeded. And I have said this, I have given statistics, go and check. What did you do? And what efforts have the Benue Rebirth movement done to make sure that they realize this thing? Is this going on television? How many people listen to television? And insulting people. That will not help matters. It is not a matter of insult. But just like the senator have said, it's something that if we sit and agree as brothers, we can arrive at something. There are dynamics in politics. Even in Zone C, there are dynamics. Why are other people not getting what they should have like the other people have been getting? You know now. There are dynamics. But just like the senator have said, if we discuss amongst ourselves, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. If the senator, myself, OKJ, Senator Siswam, and the members of House of Reps here, if we are convinced, and we too will convince our people.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.